Hi, I'm Xinyu. Today I'm going to talk about Scentbound, a small VR game where smell is not just a bonus effect, but part of the gameplay. I will quickly walk you through the game world, the Arduino Scent device, and a short study on how people match smell to different scenes. Let's start with the research questions. In the project, I focus on two things. The first thing is how do players map different scenes to each things? And the second one is how can player feedback on the science scene matching inform practical or factory game design rules? So, my project is guided by four design goals. The first, I built a future VR world where smell is not just a special effect, but part of how players understand the story and move through the game. And second, I used three scenes, a cyber lab, a spring garden, and a frozen church to see how different signs change atmosphere, emotion, and the feelings. Third, I designed a low-cost Arduino-based and multi-sign prototype that can be triggered from Unity, so it can actually be used in Studio or some small studies. So finally, I did a small scent scene matching study to see how players themselves map scents to scenes and what design hints we can take from their choices and explanations. Before I show my system, I want to show what smell does in digital experiences, how each CI usually studies it, and what gaps are still left. Firstly, let's quickly frame the problem. We know smell is super important. It connects strongly to memory and emotion, often better than seeing or hearing things. In VR, adding sound makes you feel more present and involved. But here's the issue. Our current smell technology is still only for the lab. The devices are big and hard to move, and controlling the sound is hard because it spreads slowly and stays around. Also, everyone smells things so differently, which causes problems for users. Because of these issues, smell is rarely used as a main game feature. It's just an effect for things like meditation. Now, let's look at how smell being used in VR. Studies clearly show that sound change the VR experience. For example, in Young's cooking study, the smell of pancakes make people feel more there. But what odd, their focus on the task dropped. So, smell boosts presence, but it also fights for your attention. On the positive side, another team built a VR meditation system. They released calming scents like lavender during deep breaths. People who got the scent feel more relaxed and positive. Finally, will reviews show they are making progress on devices with wearable and compact designs. The truth is, most systems are still lab prototypes and not ready for everyday use. So, as we saw, smell hits hard, but the technology is still a mess. And the big thing is mainly used for relaxation, not as a core game feature. And we don't have much research on how scents map to things. For method, this is a practice-based project. First, I built a core system, a VR game prototype, and 4-channel scent devices. Then I ran a small study with 4 participants. They matched 12 different scents to the 3 main game scenes. And finally, I used a simple statistic and semantic coding to analyze their ratings and comments, which inform the final sign choices for the game. And I will use this short demo video to show how the game, the hardware, the study work together. The story is set in future where environment collapse has wiped out natural smells. Sand has become a luxury resources. Controlled by one company, you wake up in a cold cyber lab. with no memory. You were once scientist here, but after refusing the company, your memory was wiped and you now worked as their science labor. In the lab, you talk to service robot and get your contract. At the moment, the device released Bottle 1, the ocean, to mark to mark this artificial space. When you explore and repair the glowing pipes, Unity sends a serial message to Arduino to boost Bottle 4, and then we jump to next scene. In the spring garden, you'll meet flower spirits and mushroom creatures and play a small rhythm-based resonance game. When you succeed, the game triggers a pollen burst and hardware turns on bottle 2, the sakura scent, so the scene is anchored by a clear flower-filled smell. In the frozen church, the basin is bottle 3, cedar wood, which makes the space feel like the old wooden interior. Your main job is to make a choice based on clues. That choice decides your ending. You have three choices that lead to three different outcomes. And during the ritual and endings, I briefly add bottle 4, sandalwood to create a ritual atmosphere. These four bottles come directly from a scent theme matching study with 12 candidates signed and 4 participants. And the system uses a simple 3-layer software structure for the whole experience. The state layer is the core brain. It controls the narrative flow, moving players between the lab, garden, and church, and records their final choice. The interaction layer manages all players' actions. The press E trigger system for doors and tasks, plus unique mini games like the pipe puzzle and the rhythm game. So the sign layer is separate. Other scripts don't manage hardware; they just call simple function. So this separation makes the whole system stable, clear, and easy to expand. My hardware goal was simple: low cost, easily mobile, and reproducible. I built a 4-channel device using basic Arduino and 4 modulars. I use 4 distinct scents in those bottles. Unity only sends simple readable commands, and Arduino translates that into on or off patterns for those 4 scents. For the study, I ran a very small test for 4 participants and 12 cents. First, we pre-classified which sign could fit which of the 3 things. Then they watched short clips of each thing and rated only their choice things on match, emotion, and immersion. Finally, I did a short interview to ask why certain signs felt right to run for each scene. Even with only 4 people, some clear patterns appear. In the lab, the ocean sign becomes the core filtered air. Smell with the sandalwood as a heavier accent for breakdown moments. In the garden, sakura was the most consistent flower-filled scent. Rose was a more optional, and lavender feels too much like bedroom product. In the frozen chart, cedar clearly matched the wooden interior, while sandalwood was described as the ritual smoke. Based on this, I chose S4, S6, S10, and S11 as the 4 bottles in the final device. So looking ahead, I want to test with more diverse players, move to real VR with finer scent control, and explore personalized scent profiles as part of deeper games mechanics.